All right. Are we live yet? All right, cool. Yes, I see your test message, right, cool. Mike, thanks. Yes, I see your test message, Mike, thanks. I need to turn that down. Okay. So I've turned things around a little bit tonight because this is actually the side of my table that I prefer to work on, but it's going to make some of the shots a little wonky, and for some reason my other camera does not seem to want to work right now. So that's fun. Let me see, it's not that. It's not any of that. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, we'll just wing it, see how it goes. Just started. I can't see. This thing is in the way. I don't know what you mean, Mike. So anyway, good evening.
Whatever you said before the table I wanted, we did not hear.
Okay, well, I've switched things around. Yeah, that light is stuck now. But because I like working on this side of the table, and you can see my pretty fabric wall. Well, it's a bit of a mess right now, but that's okay. So we're gonna get on the back panel tonight, and the first thing we're gonna do is move the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. That's why I said the camera work was gonna be a little wonky.
Did
I what?
Switch from the USB extension and then put this into the hub?
It was working like 5 minutes ago. But that is plugged into the hub, yes. Okay. Just a moment for technical difficulties. Watch out for me. Thank you. All right, now he's not standing in the way, so I can see to move this camera, so at least I can get started on that. Just gonna move it down to touch. There we go. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, the first step is to trim off a 1/2 inch. And that is because this is the back panel that is going to have the laptop pocket, and that zipper is going to add some width. So we just need to trim this down a touch. I don't think I trimmed it enough, actually. I think that moved on me. This should be okay. All right. So I'm gonna just put that to the side. We've got that, and we are going to put this to the side for now. We need to work on the top closure. I can't talk tonight, apparently. Top closure straps. And so we're going to do that first. And actually, I think I want some of these clips here. Earlier, the other night, if you were with me the other night, I mentioned that waxed canvas is super, super easy to work with. And I waited to do these closure straps so that I could show you how malleable it is and how awesome it is to work with. Hey, Scoot. Oh, yay. Okay, cool. Awesome sauce. Thank you. So these are 1.5 inches, so we need to do a line down the center. Make sure that's the side I want. Yeah, that's the side I want. Up. We want to do it on the wrong side. So we're going to just do our line with the awl.
One camera tonight.
One camera? Okay. That's what's going to happen then. And we're just going to fold these into the center line. And see how I don't know if you can really see it on the camera, but it folds like putty. It is just so easy to do. I love it. It is, waxed canvas is wonderful. Oh, and sorry about my voice, allergies are a thing. So there's that. We're just going to do both of those like this. Make sure you can see that there. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my other camera. It was working just fine right before I hit streaming. But we will make do. Okay. So we've got this folded down, so they are going to be 3/4 inch wide. And that matters because I'm going to be using ladder lock buckles similar to the ones that we put on the bottom of the straps, but they are going to be the top closures. Let me flip this over, that'll be easier. Just flatten that out really nice. And we're just going to do the same thing for this closure strap. Just gonna go ahead and make my life a little easier and mush that down now. Okay. Almost there. There we go. Okay, so we've got our two. This is going to be the wrong side. They're going to be hidden on the bottom. And we've got the top side as well. We're going to blow up my instructions so I can read it better. There we go. All right, we're gonna top stitch both of these at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So, yeah, that is just double checking. The two short edges are left raw, so that's right. All right, yep, okay. We're gonna top stitch down the long edge of both of these at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to figure out how to do this since we're down to one camera. I'll put that over there. Let's see, you're not going to be able to see me sewing very well, and you can probably see my big mess underneath my ironing board, but It'll do. It will do. Sorry, I won't have the close-up of the machine tonight. Okay. There we go. Oh, I didn't backstitch again. That's all right. Slow it down. That is pulling again. Not a fan of that, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna drop my straps, because of course I am. Now this is a little trick that you can do when you are, again, it's not close up, so it's hard to show you, but there's a little trick that when you're doing a lot of top stitching, you can just plop the next one right in behind it and save yourself having to, you know, grab the tails and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and I'm just gonna come back up the other side. This back around. Since I forgot to backstitch when I started the whole thing, I'm actually gonna come over here and just do a little backstitch over those stitches so I can just trim them out. And I'll lock those down pretty well. Should be good there. And I'm just gonna clip, hopefully you can see it, but I'm just gonna clip the these two like that. Okay. Oh, I don't think you could see that. Sorry. I'll just slide back over here. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to double check and make sure that I caught the edge on both. I did all the way around. Perfect. So we are now going to set those aside. And now I'm going to need my thing close by again, because we are about to make a whole bunch of marks on the back of, or on the back panel. So slide those over. I'll need this. So I think this is going to be my top here on this side, and this is going to be my bottom. So the first thing that I need to do is mark a light line at 7.5 inches. Hi, hon.
Hi.
What's up?
You might have it fixed, I don't know.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. So we're going to mark a line from the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark my second line because I know I'm going to need it at 13.5. Okay. I know I'm going to need that, so I'm just going to plop it in there now. I'm going to take the foam for this, and we don't want the foam in the side seam allowances, and we don't want it at the top because that's where it's going to fold at the top of the bag. So we're going to flip this around, and I'm just going to line up. I'll grab some clips. I'll use these clips for this one. I want to make sure that it is centered, excuse me, centered side to side and then lined up with the bottom, and it looks about right, but I'm just going to double check. Yep, that is centered. We're going to clip it in place because we are going to sew this down.
Jackie.
Yes. That's what it was doing before. It was stuck.
Okay, I just wanted to verify.
Yeah, that's where it got stuck.
That's what everyone's seeing for a second here.
Okay. All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to sew this down. We're going to we're going to stitch it here. And then we're going to flip it over and we're going to stitch it along both of these lines that I marked a minute ago. Actually, this looks like it's a little not quite lined up, so let's move that up just a skosh. Okay. There we go. That'll work. And we don't mind that these lines are going to be across the sides because this is going to be covered up by the back strip, and this will be covered up by the luggage sleeve. So we're fine with that. I am going to put a couple of these clips along the side just to make sure that doesn't shift while I'm sewing the foam down. And now it's not even. Oh, goodness gracious. It needs to come down just a teeny bit. Okay. That'll do it. That's going to do it because I'm not moving this thing again. Okay. And these really are just to make sure this foam doesn't shift on me because I don't want that to happen. And Mike is still working on my camera.
Am I in your way?
Yes. But if you were going to fix my camera, I can wait a moment.
Go ahead. Go where you gotta go.
Okay. All right. So we're going
Keep
to...
working on it. for me.
That's fine. It's fine. You're going to be partially in the shot here. So I'm going to move
Oh no.
that around. Or you can... Okay, now I can't see. I'm trying to aim the camera. Okay. That'll do. That'll do. All right, so we're gonna sew, again, we're gonna sew along the bottom, and we're gonna sew along those 2 lines that are marked. And we're just gonna sew at about 1/8 of an inch just to get it tacked down. And one of the things about foam is obviously it's quite thick. And if I were making this on my domestic machine that's not as strong as this machine, one of the things that you can do to make it a little easier on yourself to sew is actually do a zigzag stitch along the edge of the foam, like all the way around the edge. And that would, or in this case, since it's only lined up at the bottom, we could just have done it at the bottom. And if you do a zigzag stitch, then it'll be mushed down a little bit better. And then you can sew it to the fabric. So, and it will sew a little bit smoother. But since I've got Jester here, not caring how thick things are, I just sewed it on. So let me make sure everything is still good and flat. It is. And we are doing this line in the middle. The top and the bottom are pretty obvious, but this line in the middle is because we don't want it to shift at all. So I'm gonna give it as much of a chance as possible to stay put. So okay, make sure that's nice and flat. It is. All right, here we go. Oh God, okay. That one done, and I'm just gonna double check that that everything is still laying flat as soon as I snip my threads. Yep, we're still good and flat. Okay. Oops. I hold my threads so they don't nest up on me. Okie doke. And we'll slide back. Mike, can I see the screen, please? Thanks, love. Okay, just back about. That ought to do it. All right. Excellent. So gonna take these out. So now we have our foam sewed on. It's not gonna go anywhere. So we're gonna turn it back over here, and we're going to mark I did that. Okay. We're gonna need the center mark from the 7-inch line at the top. And that should be it. I'm just gonna double check. Yep. And I'm actually not going to go all the way to the edge of the bag because I don't think that I need to. I think I just need to do it here. Like maybe that much. And then I'm gonna need, I'm gonna put this to the side. I need 3.5. And this is going to be similar to, actually I do want the full lines on these, so I am going to use this. This is similar to like we did on the front, where we're going to use these lines to tell us where our straps need to go. That is, yep, that's that. We are good and straight. I think we are. I'm gonna do that line. And then same thing over here. Nice and straight. And I'm gonna double check either side. Make sure I'm even. Yep. All right, good to go. Then we need that 5-inch line. Yep, okay. So we're gonna make this line here. And again, she takes it all the way across. I'm just gonna do it here so I know where to put the straps. Yes.
So, tech update.
Tech update.
Computer sees the camera. OBS software. Not seeing the camera.
That's so weird because like literally it was working. I hit start stream.
I should be able to select it and just get it going.
Right.
While you're doing the stream without interrupting it. So everyone, as you've been watching, I've had to go off. The camera's turned off for you a couple times.
Right,
as
yeah.
I'm doing stuff.
Right.
But it's not acknowledging it. The only thing I can do is try and shut down the stream, start it back up again.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
So you're on one camera tonight.
Okay. I can deal with one. I can deal with one. Okay.
I can
So.
make this closer if you'd like.
Huh?
I can make that closer if you like.
Sure. Yeah. All right, we're gonna Blair Witch just a touch. Yeah, that's good.
I can go get it even closer.
Well, I think it's fine. I really think it's fine because I don't want it to get too small because I want this whole back piece in the shot. So, okay. So, thanks for trying, hun. We'll mess around with it after. All right, we are we are going to use. All right, we're going to have these are the top closer straps, and we want them upside down when we do this first part from the 5-inch line. And just like the front, we want them inside the marks that I made. And 5, I make sure I'm not missing something here. Wrong side up, got it. Inside the line. Yep, okay, we're good. So I'm just gonna clip this here. What was that strange noise? I have no idea what's happening. All right, and we're going to do it inside this line, and also clip it here. The clips are really not going to help overly much. Okay, good. They're not going to help a ton, so I'm actually going to tape them down. But first, I want to make sure when I go around, it's going to be at a it's going to be a 1/8. Cool. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of the last of my tape here, or at least this, a little bit of the last of this tape. And nope, that's not going to work. Okay, that one is getting thrown out. Here we go with this tape. I hope it's not terrible tape. I really, really hope it's not terrible tape. But we are going to put a little bit down right here. And we're going to put a little bit down right here. And I'm hoping that it's sticky enough to hold it. We'll find out. Wax canvas does not like adhesive, so that's why I'm not sure if this is going to work. Nope, it's not going to work. I need my leather tape. Okay. Here it is. My leather tape worked on the front side, so hopefully this will hold better. So I'm just going to put a little bit, I'm going to put it on here first. Oof. It doesn't like to rip like the other one does. So we'll snip it. Actually, I don't know why I'm putting it back in the bag. I'm going to need it in a little bit. And let's snip that part that's sticking out. All right. All right, this piece is not, I'm just going to have to go on hope and prayer here because not even the leather tape is working now. But that's okay. So I'm just going to go, and I'm not going to move the camera for this because it's going to be super quick. But I'm just going to go base down the ends of both of these, and I'll be right back. You'll be able to hear me, but not see me for just this one step. Okay, so just making sure it's all lined up properly. Okay. Down. Okay. Okay, so I just need to finish trimming my threads. Same on the other side. Okay. All right. So now these are tacked down here. And next I need my little ladder lock buckles. And goes up, over, and around. Okay, cool. So the ladder lock buckles that I have, they look just like the others that are on the strap, that we made on the strap the other night. Oh, it's taped. I thought I had opened this. Okay, there we go. They look just the same, except they're a little bit more narrow to fit this strap. So we're going to take the take these off first because we don't need those now. We're going to put it around the thread it through the bottom piece here, just like we did on the straps. And then we're going to pull it up to this line that we stitched earlier. And it should, is that hanging off correctly? Yes, that is what the picture looks like. So yay. All right. And just for funsies, I'm gonna put a couple of these on. I probably don't need them, but actually I don't need them. That'll be fine. I'm gonna put this buckle on. And before I do all of this, I am going to make sure that this would go here and back down. So make sure I've got them on correctly. Yep, that's good. All right. So they are going to be on correctly. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Bring it all the way to that stitch line and line it up. Now we're going to go to the sewing machine and sew these down all the way. They're going to go up one long side, across, and then back down. That's the way we're going to sew it. And I want to see, since I have to flip around since I have to flip the camera around, I can also get the next step prepared so we can sew a couple of things at the sewing machine. And that it would be the grab handle. So here is our, let's put that to the side for a second. Here is our grab handle, and we're gonna have a folded handle. So, pardon me, edge 3 inches in from each end. So we're gonna take the marker, if I can find it. There it is. All right, so we wanna come in 3 inches on each end. Okay. And we're just going to pinch it. We're going to fold it right in half so that those lines come together. And actually, I want to mark them on the sides too so I can see when I'm sewing what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to pinch, fold them in half, and I'm going to start sewing. I'm actually going to fold it up a little higher so it's easier for me to sew that. But I'm going to put some clips on there, and we're just going to sew down this one edge to give us a nice, pretty folded handle. And this is going to be the grab handle for the top of the backpack. Okay, we've got that done. Get a sip of water. And I'm just going to leave these here right now while I move the camera. Again, I'm sorry it's a little wonky tonight, but we're still going to get this made. So I'm going to take I'm going to do the top strap closures first. I'm just going to start at the bottom here. Actually, you know, one thing that would help, so it stops moving around on me too much here, I'm gonna clip. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing right now, but you'll see it when I get to the sewing machine. Clipping the top to the bottom so that it doesn't run away on me. Okay, there we go. There we go. So now we've got, I've just put a couple of clips. I just put a couple of clips right here to hold them on. So here we go. Move my needle. And I'm not really concerned about these raw edges here because you're not going to see them. They're going to get covered up. So move that clip. Getting off the line there a little bit. Don't do that. I'll tell you, why is my thread getting in my way so much? Okay, we're just going to stop there. Roughly 1/2 inch. Doesn't have to be exact. That I'm gonna bring that over just a little bit more. Oh, that really got off the line. I'm not happy about that. In fact, yeah, that's a full 1/8 off the line down there. So I'm going to show you what happens when not happy with stitching. But first I will do this other side so that we can, since we're already at the machine. Where's my bottom thread? Where are you? There it is. Okay. Make sure it's staying nice and even. on the line. A little better this time would be really great. So far, so good. Looks about right. Yep, that's going to be too far over like the other one was, but that's okay because we can just slightly shift it. Yep, that works. Okay, and this is a little thick for the back. There we go. It's a little thick for the back of my presser foot, so I just had to help it out there a little bit. Okay, that turned out much better than the other side. Very pleased about that. And let's go ahead and move the camera so I can show you what I'm going to do here. Okay, so this it's probably very hard to see, but this one is beautiful. It goes right along the line. It's perfect. This other one over here got quite a bit off. So just trim those down a little bit. So this one over here got quite a bit off. It's pretty much almost an 1/8 of an inch out from the line on this side. I'm not happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this thread out. And I'm not going to do the entire thing because some of it's fine. I'm just going to back it up. Oh, you're going to be difficult, aren't you? It's a short little stitch that I had to do. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. Now luckily my thread is super close to the color here, which I'm still going to try to go in the same holes that were already kind of poked through here, but with the thread being so close to the fabric color, it shouldn't matter too much. Hey Harry. Just fixing a little oopsie. All right, this is pretty good. I think, yeah, that's up against the line pretty well. That's when things started going a little wonky. So I'm gonna pull this thread to the back and tie it off. It's actually too hard to tie when it's that long, but I'm not too concerned about the stability of these stitches, having to pull it back instead of back stitching, you know, like partway through this, because I am going to put rivets on these later. So when we put the rivets on there later, it'll strengthen it up that much more. So let's go back over here, and Harry, we are on one camera tonight, so that's fun. We're not getting the other camera stopped working, like right when I hit streaming. So, all right. Let's start, and I'm gonna go in the same hole, and again, if we had a second camera I could show you close up, but I'm gonna go in the same hole where I left off, where I stopped, or where I tied those stitches off. All right, there we go. Put my foot down. And I'm much better the line up is much better this time. One more. Oh, that's much better. Okay. And this is gonna have to come out. Come back down, and I'm gonna have to line it up. That should do it. And again, I'm gonna have to help this buckle out from behind my presser foot. Okay. Now we can just stitch the rest. Oop. Hi, Jasper. Are you coming to help? Huh? Are you coming to help? They can see you. Yeah, they can. Okay. Yeah, he likes to come in here when I sew and lay down on the floor and till he gets bored, and then he'll go off somewhere else. So I'm going to tie those off in a minute, but I'm going to get this I'm going to get this done first. And again, I'm just going to stitch it from that mark that I made as soon as I can find it. Oh, I think I must have rubbed it off. I'll just use a ruler and figure it out. So I'm just gonna sew from that mark. Actually, that's not gonna work. I need to mark it better. Oh, it's not rubbed off. I just couldn't see it. I'll do more of the outside than I did. That should help. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. So checking the thing. Hey, Scoot's back. All right. There we go. That's marked better now. So I'll get this piece sewn together, and this is just a 1-inch piece of webbing that we're going to use as the grab handle. Okay, that's there. Put that foot down. And this is where the stiletto comes in handy, and again, you can't see it, but I'm going to have to use the stiletto to this right here, to hold this, because I've got to get real close to the presser foot and the needle. Almost there. One more stitch. Yeah, one more stitch. We got it. Okay. And where are my snips? There they are. All right. Now the next thing, I'm gonna pull these threads through real quick while we're over here. I'm just gonna pull these threads through and tie them off, because the next step is actually tacking the grab handle onto this piece. So we can just kind of knock it out while the camera is turned that direction. See, yeah, Mike went into, yeah, I heard Mike walk the dogs. Oh, cool. All right. This last piece. All right, so the grab handle is going to go, I'm just going to put it here so you can see it, but the grab handle is going to go like this between these two pieces. And my tablet fell asleep. So let me make sure that I'm right. Yep, okay. So the grab handle is going to go between these two pieces, and I'm just going to tack it down here at the bottom like I did the shorter sides of this earlier. But I want to make sure that the sewn edge is facing up, because when you're wearing it, it's going to be like this. So it's going to be like this. So you want that folded edge in the front so it looks nice and pretty. Let me get these markings off here. No, they're not wanting to come off tonight. That's fun. That's all right. Okay. I'm also going to melt my threads here. Because I don't want little pieces of thread sticking out looking weird. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to hold this down when I tack it down, because it's going to be pretty easy to just line it up like that. So we'll do that real quick. Okay. All right, now we can do one more, I think, and then back stitch. I'm actually gonna like over back stitch it, because the more stitching we have here, the better it's gonna be, because the it'll just make the grab handle a little stronger. A stronger grab handle is a good thing. Okay. All right. Grab handle is on. Just gonna snip these threads real quick and then move the camera back. There we go. Okay. So yep, got that on. Okay. So the next thing I need to do is we're at 6. Okay, we need to make a line 6.5 down from the top piece here. I'm going to flip it around because I'm right-handed. It'll be easier to reach. All right. So we want this come down 6.5. And I'm going to use this just to make sure I'm even. Now that I've got some bulk in here, I want to make sure I'm straight. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to take this line, go across like so. And we still have that center mark there, so I want that, and I didn't snip the thread in the center. Not that it matters, it'll be hidden, but there we go. Okay. So we've got this piece that's 6 inches, 6.5 inches, excuse me, from the end. And that is going to be that's one of the ways that we are going to line up the straps so that they work. And we're going to mark, and this one, I don't care if it comes off, because again, it's going to be, it is going to be hidden. So we're going to mark there and here. And the reason for this, I'll show you real quick, get it, kind of try to get it closer for you. The reason we're doing this mark is because that is where we're going to line up our straps. So we're going to get our straps that we made yesterday, or 2 days ago, rather. Excuse me. And we're going to put them with the fold side up, I think. So basically wrong side up. I'm just double checking that. Yep. So they're going to be basically upside down, essentially. And we're going to put them so that they, excuse me, so there's this mark here that I made. And the center mark, I'm going to angle it so that it comes to that center mark. And this edge is at this mark. And this, I definitely want some tape on, I think, because that's going to be hard to hold at the sewing machine. So, let's see. It's going to be I just hope this works. It didn't want to work earlier, but all right, so we've got our this corner here and this corner at the center mark. Please stick. Okay. Oh, yes. Sorry. Mike is walking the neighbor's dog, apparently. His email is mike@tazriverartisans.com. So that's his email address. Please. Oh, it's working. It's working. All right. I'm gonna put another strip here. And we're gonna do the same thing with this side. And we're gonna take it from this corner where it's marked here and line it up in the center there. Try to get it as hard as I can on there. All right. This one is, it's kind of holding. It's kind of holding. Fingers crossed. This part, okay, this is just going to be a short part. I'll move it around a little bit here, but Mike, I'm wondering if I should put the tripod over on this side so we can see it. Oh, nose, that came off. That's sad. All right. Yep, there went that strap. It fell on the floor. So it's not holding on that side. That's lovely. But what I can do is clip it at the top so at least my strap doesn't fall all the way to the floor. This one is kind of got a little wonky as well. Okay, so I just clipped it like right here at the edge. So at least my straps don't fall on the floor, because I don't want that. I mean, it's not like my floor is filthy or anything, but it does need a good vacuum, but. All right, so I'm gonna take this corner here and I'm just gonna line it up and stick the needle in to hold it down. There, all right. And this piece is gonna come up here like that. Where's the little, there it is. Push that thread out so I can hold my threads so they don't nest up on me. And this one is going to need to line up, so I'm going to just turn it around a little bit. Make sure it's the same height. We're good there. Okay. This is one of the trickier parts of this entire bag, in my opinion, and that it's the same way for every backpack. The straps are not the easiest part by any stretch of the imagination. And it's really just because of you're having to, it's at an awkward angle, basically. So, let's see. Okay, yeah, don't feel ignored, Scoot. I'm doing a terrible job at checking messages or checking the chat today. All right, so see, yeah, so you can see we've got them on pretty well there. And the next step, in this pattern, she does use like these little paracord zip closures over here that will help the zipper stay closed, but I'm not going to use those. So I'm going to skip that step. And I'm going to turn my fan up a little bit. It's warm in here. So I've got that. The next step, because I'm not doing the paracord, is the back strip. Okay. And now you'll get to find out why we didn't care that this is all messy. Well, I'm sure you've probably figured it out by now. But let's move that over. This is the back strip piece. And we are going to mark a line, see which side I want on the outside. Yep. Mark a line on the wrong side. And we're going to mark it in the center. So 4.5, that would be 2.25. That should be the same. Yep. And I'm going to do what I've already done quite a few times, which is fold this. I want to get this over in the shot. Fold this up to that line. Oh, I know you were joking on Mike. That's all, or joking with Mike. I know that. I am paranoid because I know that I'm forgetful when it comes to chat. And it's not, it's mostly because when I get sewing, I just get in the groove and keep going. And this whole having to stay in the camera and check chat thing, that is just takes some getting used to. That's all. So we're gonna. All right. Oh gosh, I don't know why that line came. That line went all the way through. I pressed too hard. That's okay. All right. So now we've got this, and this is gonna have a piece of foam in it. So we're gonna open it up, lay the foam in, make sure it's centered because we don't want it going all the way to the edge. We want to keep it out of our seam allowance. We're gonna just tug that over kind of nice and snug, and forget clips. There we go. And you might still have a gap, there could be a gap here because the foam is thick, and that's okay. There will probably, like you can see it there, but I'm still pulling it snug because when I sew it, it's gonna pull anyway. So I'm just trying to get it as snug as I can from the get-go. And Okay, there we go. And we're gonna take it to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch. I think this is the one that gets the weird thickness here, the weird seam allowance. Yeah, 5/8. We're gonna do it at a 5/8 seam allowance, and that's basically just holding this to the foam. So I need to get these out of the way. So that's to hold this to the foam, and then we're gonna sew it on the bag. And I do not usually sew with that wide of a seam allowance. Where's my 1 inch? Where's my little 1 inch? There it is. So I'm going to double check my seam allowance. It's written on here, but you know, it can move. It's like the whole point of it. So the needle, I mean. So I'm just going to check this. Half, and then so I put that down. Yep. All right, cool. So I'm going to do it from the top. And I've got it lined up where I need it on the machine. Pull it down a little bit. Okay. There's one side, and I'm just gonna start down here. Oh, that's a little too far. So we'll just slide it over a scotch there. All right. We're doing both of these long sides again at a 5/8 seam 5/8 inch seam allowance. Except where I'm getting wonky and going a little bit more than that, but that's all right. Okay. All right. Where are my snips? Completely misplaced them this time. Oh, there they are. Get those threads off. Okay, I'm just going to leave it here for right now, so I don't have to move the camera quite as much. But the next thing that we're going to do is actually put it on the bag. And the top of it needs to come, so I'm going to take these clips off for a moment. The top of it needs to come 5.5 inches. So we're going to be 5.5 is here. So I'm going to mark that. And I'm going to mark it on the other side, which I don't even know if it's in the shot or not, but if not, sorry, I'm just marking 5.5 inches the same way. Okay, so I've got my 5.5 inches, and the idea is to put this so that if it's at the 5.5 inch mark, it will just cover this stuff, and that works perfectly. It's beautiful. So we're going to clip on both sides. I'm going to do the same thing over on this side, like that. Okay, so we're all clipped, and we're going to go back to the sewing machine and she says do a 1/8 and then a 3/8 seam allowance. So I'm actually gonna do 4 rows of stitching here. So let's do this side first. And do the 1/8 and then I'll come back, do the 3/8 and then do the same thing on the other side. There we go. I don't need that now. When I get to, one of the things that I'm going to need to do is when I get to the straps, I might need to use a hump jumper because it's going to be really thick. I'm going to need to make sure that they're pulled at the correct angle. I don't want them being all crunched up strangely. So, oops. Okay. Doing okay. Getting up close to the strap, so I'm gonna stop with my needle in. I'm gonna push that strap out the back and just make sure it's angled properly from the inside here. And I think I am going to use a hump jumper. Hump jumpers are really important in sewing because if you're going from one thickness to another and it's a big difference, it can make you skip stitches. It can really mess up your piece. So that's why I'm going to slide this little guy. It's just a little piece of plastic you can slide up underneath to help alleviate the difference in height of the fabric. And then the little plastic piece just pops out when it's done, so. Okay, do we want, all right, this one, you can't see it because it's on the other side of the machine, but I am making sure that my strap is nice and straight. And I didn't need a hump jumper for that one for some strange reason, but that's okay. All right, got that one. Instead of doing the 3/8 right now, like I had said, I think I'm going to flip it around and just do the 1/8 on the other side so that I know that it's all down and being held securely. And then I'll come back and do both 3/8. So let's roll this out the way and snip my threads on this end over here. There we go. All right, so this back panel, this back piece that I'm sewing on right now serves two purposes. One is it's just pretty. You know, it's an interesting feature on it, so it adds a little depth to the bag. But the main reason is to hide. The main reason is to hide where the straps come on. Where you've attached the straps to the bag, but it's also to strengthen those straps. Because the more sewing you can do over those straps, the stronger they're going to be and the longer they're going to last. So that's why we're putting so many, you know, the 1/8 inch top stitch and the 3/8 inch top stitch. It's all completely intentional to help strengthen these straps. So there's that. And it just dawned on me, I don't know why I'm not going down the side. so I don't have to keep starting and stopping, but maybe I'll do that for the 3/8 inch one. Okay, so here we go with 3/8 inch, and I'm gonna pop this out to my center, and that way it can run like right along there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, as soon as I'm done with this piece, I'll come over and check the chat, see what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna backstitch a little bit, but nothing major. There we go. Get the scissors snipped there, or snip the threads. That's what I was doing. She did not seem to mind that time with the thickness change, so that's good. Okay, our back piece is on. We have straps. We have straps that will come around like that, so I did put them on the right side, so yay. Oh, my light. There it goes. Okay, so that's good. I did that right. Woohoo! The last part of the, well, that's not true. It's not the last part. And Jackie will have this backpack loaded up. Oh yeah, I totally will. Oh yeah. Definitely going to be loading this thing up. So, the next part, since we've got that done, is the bottom straps. So, obviously with a backpack, you know, you've got the top straps at the top, and they got to hook on to something at the bottom. So we're going to put those bottom straps down here. And to do that, we're going to go get them where I made them the other night. We're going to make sure they are opposites, and they are. And we're going to trim them into a triangle. Some patterns have you actually make the triangle instead of doing it this way, and it's very confusing. I love that she does it this way. It makes so much, it just makes it less confusing. Because now I can have them here. This is how they're going to go on the backpack, so I can very easily see which part needs to have that triangle cut off. So we're just gonna go here to here. Just, oh yeah, yeah, I didn't like that very much. Because it's cutting through, at this point, it's cutting through 4 pieces of waxed canvas and the webbing. So it was not amused by me in that situation. I do want to re-singe this webbing though. So I'm just gonna melt it. Make sure it's nice and melty so that it doesn't come unraveled, because nylon will come unraveled if you don't secure it like that. So now we're going to take this one, and I am cutting this right, aren't I? Yeah, because it's going to go like that, and then it's going to go like that. Yep, okay. So I'm going to do this piece. Oh, I'll cut a little bit better. And again, I'm going to melt the end of this webbing down a little bit so it won't fray. Okay. Perfect. Now, I need to get the bottom of the bag over here. And we're going to take these pieces, and these are going to cross like so. And how high up do we need them to be? 3/4 of an inch up. Okay. So these should be about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. And that would put them at, yep, that's perfect. All right. So I'm actually just gonna use the small ruler for this because I can put it underneath and measure that way. So we're gonna just line this up 3/4 of an inch from the bottom, and I'm gonna clip this on. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Get my clips over here ready. Go 3/4 of an inch up. And it should be just about 4. Yep, there we go. Okay, I've got those. What? Oh, hey, Harry's back. Yay. Okay. So now we're just gonna stitch these on, and we're gonna stitch an eighth of an inch from the edge to keep them where they need to be. And also, again, the more lines of stitching there are, which there's going to be more obviously when we put the sides on, the stronger these will be. So why is she sounding so weird? I oiled you before we started. Okay. Snip that. Snip these threads. And do the same thing on this side. Oh, don't do that. Okay. All right. we are done with, no, we're not. I keep doing that. We're not done with the back piece yet. But we can set this to the side. Because, see, it's right about now. I would mess it up. Okay. We're going to put a luggage sleeve on this. Luggage sleeves are super duper helpful when you're traveling because you can just slide it on top of your suitcase handle, and it's super handy. So I'm going to do, which side do I like? I think I like this side. So this is the underneath. We're gonna fold, right sides together. We need to fold right sides together. Oh, I gotta make sure. This is almost a square, but it's not quite a square. I need to make sure I've got it. Yep, I'm on the correct side. So I'm gonna fold this up. I'm gonna clip along this edge. And I think she said we're gonna just sew this with a 3/8 seam allowance, if I remember correctly. And then, yep, 1/8 and then a 5. Okay, so we're gonna do, this one is gonna be 3/8 inch just to close it up. We're making a tube so that we can put the foam in it. So that's what we're doing. 2, 3, okay, that's good. And I don't know if Jester's gonna like this because it's only 2 layers of canvas. All right. She's behaving, so I think we're good. She does not like thin fabric. And this is not thin fabric by any stretch, but it is it's nowhere near as thin as like quilting cotton or something. But it is only 2 layers thick, so. Oh, and fun fact, Mike sent me a video today from Adam Savage. And I don't know if you guys remember Adam Savage from the Mythbusters and Tested and all that kind of thing. He has a sewing machine also. He has the same sewing machine. He has this one. So I remember a while back when I saw that, first time I found out he had this sewing machine, I was like, oh, hey, great taste in sewing machine. Where's my press? All right. So here we're just gonna press this seam open. Of course, since it's waxed canvas, we aren't gonna use the iron. We're just gonna use the roller. Get that nice and flat. And then we're gonna turn it out. I'm just gonna reach in. Let's see how this works with waxed canvas. It doesn't wanna twist too much, and it doesn't like to slide on itself because it's waxed, but we will make it work. There we go. And this, you'll be able to see what I was talking about with waxed canvas here really good in a minute. But all those places that I crushed it down, you can see how it's got the beautiful markings in it now. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I love waxed canvas. So I want the seam to be about the center because that's going to be against the backpack and it's not going to be seen. We're going to just slide this foam right on in there and get it centered. Again, it's going to be out of the seam allowances. So we're just going to center it as best we can. There, and there we go. That's it. Now we're going to top stitch both sides. I think she says here it's 1/8 and then 5/8. So I'm gonna do the 5/8 first. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna do the 5/8 first, and then I'll come back and do the 1/8. And this time I think I am gonna go around in like little rectangles, just so I don't have to start and stop so much. 3. Okay. I'm actually going to do the 5/8 all the way around, and then I'll come back and do the 1/8 inch because I need to move my needle for that. So I'll just do it in 2 passes. That should work just fine. And pull that down. That's too far. That's way too far, Jackie. Goodness gracious. Okay. Let's see how that goes. Almost perfect. Now it's perfect. Okay. Let's do the other side of 5/8. Okay, I'm actually gonna cheat and just move my needle from there so I don't have to. When the needle's up, you can move the position of the needle and it won't hurt anything. So that's what I just did. Now we're gonna do the 1/8. Definitely needs to be moved a little. Here we go. And at the bottom, I'm just going to go down the edge. It's not really necessary. I could start and stop, but I don't feel like it. So, just so across the end. There we go. Oops. It's got a little wide there at one point. I'm just going to put the back stitch on the short end because that is going to be in the seam and not seen very easily. So there we go. We have a luggage sleeve. And how far up does it go? Right. It's right above the strap anchors. So we're going to put this here, and we're going to get our straps down out of the way. And then we're just going to plop this right on top like so. And because I sewed the edges, they're a little shorter, but that's okay. And we're going to bring it right to that triangle right here. Do the same thing on the other side. And that'll be, even though it's a little shorter because I basically basted the edges, it'll be fine when it all goes together because it'll be in the seam. So it won't be a problem. Come on. There we go. All right, flip it around, make sure it's nice and straight there. All right, we just need to sew up the sides and then we're done with the back panel. And before I do, let me check the, oh yeah, it is sewing machine to the stars. That is very true. I think Adam Savage is great, and he, as far as I'm concerned, has great taste in sewing machines. The episode that Mike sent me was him actually using his sewing machine and doing a repair, and he actually made me feel really, really good because he was talking about how sewing takes quite a bit of skill and it is not for the faint of heart and all this kind of stuff. I forget how he put it, but it really made me feel good. I was like, this is a guy that can build pretty much anything. Like, he's incredibly intelligent. He's very good at what he does. And he's sitting there saying, I'm not a great sewist. Sewing takes a lot of skill. You know, if you don't know what you're doing, don't just jump in, learn how to do it. And, you know, and I that was really sweet. So that made me feel really good. We got that piece on. Flip it around, making sure the straps are out of the way. And this piece, I'm going to hold it out like to keep it nice and flat. And as soon as I get on here, let me. Okay, now I'm going to hold it nice and flat because I have two hands and need them both. Okay. Oops, stay up. Just trimming the threads from this where I started them. And here we go. Move these over. So we have the bottom with our little straps here. We have our luggage sleeve that can fit over the handle on a suitcase. And we have our straps attached up here and our grab handle and our little straps that will fall over to the front so that it can be secured from there too. The next section on this is the side panels. I think yeah, why not? Let's just do the side panels real quick. It's kind of starting to get a little bit late. 95% of what I know about sewing I've learned from Jackie and her 3 lives. It says I have 4 languages. Some of the words, but I get to see what. Oh, that's awesome! Thanks, Scoot. Sewing is my happy place. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. And that reminds me, if I ever say anything, Mike said the first live, I said some words that he didn't know what they were, and I should have explained it, but I didn't think about it. So if I ever say something that, sorry, I had to get some water. If I ever say anything and you don't have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, please ask. Because, you know, we don't know if we don't ask. So there's that. Now what I'm going to do, my side gussets on this bag, and the gussets are, you know, we just did the back panel, the big flat back panel. A couple of days ago we did the front panel. So now we're doing the sides. And the sides have bottle pockets. But what I wanted to do, just to have a contrast, I'll show you what I mean. If we take the back panel, this is going to be the side of the backpack here, right? I wanted to do the contrast because I love this fabric so much. So, just in case you're wondering, that is why I am not using the waxed canvas for the sides, because I wanted that pop. Each side also has a bottle pocket on it, and those I'm actually going to use the fabric for the lining of those, and I'm going to use the waxed canvas for the outside. So again, there's like some color blocking going on, so hopefully that'll work out well. I need to flip these around because they are not right side up to me. There we go. So I'm going to put those over to the side real quick. I'm going to take my pockets, my bottle pockets here, and we are going to, she does have an elastic piece that she puts on hers, but I'm on the inside, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. So we're going to make the pockets first. And the reason I decided to keep going, even though it's getting kind of, I've been on for a couple hours now, is because these are going to be quick. But I just flipped these over and it reminded me last night I took a break. The night before I mentioned interfacing. Interfacing, when you use a cotton woven like this Luxe Sateen for a bag, you need to interface it. And it's ironed on. It's a super thin, this one in particular is called Profuse, and it's a very thin piece of fabric that has adhesive on the back, and you put it on the back of the fabric like I have here, and iron it down, and that keeps that cotton fabric from stretching. So that's why we did it here. When you're using cotton for bags, most of the time you're going to interface it. She specifically said not to on these pockets because of the thickness. Because you're going to have this layer, you're going to have this layer, you're going to have this layer, you're going to have the entire front or whatever. When these seams come together, it's going to be super thick. So we don't want the interfacing because on it to make it even more thick. And honestly, with it lining the this canvas, it doesn't need to be. So I do need to iron them though, because I didn't iron them apparently. Got a little line through them, so I'm just waiting for my iron to heat up. Some more water, I'm getting thirsty. Okay. I think it's close enough. It's getting hot. Let's go over here and plop. Yeah, it's good enough. So I'm just gonna press this with the iron. And then I'm going to take right sides together. So this is the right side of the print. This is the right side that I want on the outside of my bag. No, it's not. That is. I'm going to put those together and clip along the top. And because this is directional fabric and I want the birds, you know, going in the right direction, I'm going to do the top of that with this piece here. So we're going to clip those together. And this one, I'm not sure if Jester's really not sure if Jester's going to like this one. Fingers crossed. Because the other one was 2 layers of canvas. This is going to be a layer of canvas and a layer of cotton, and the cotton's not even interfaced. So hopefully she doesn't try to eat it. Okay, so I'm just going to do, so both of these just across the top there. At, what does she say? 2, 3/8. Okay, cool. All right. Put that over. And we're just gonna sew this so just across the top. Yeah, see, I don't know if you can hear her like thumping. She's like thumping, and she does not like this thin fabric. She'll do it, but she doesn't like it. Oh God, she's sliding all over the place. Yeah, she really does not like this. Probably should have done this on the other machine, but that's all right. There's that one, and get this one. A brat, you're fine. Okay. There we go. So the pockets are, these pockets are pretty easy to make. We are gonna have to put pleats in them, but that's okay, we want to. But we are first going to top stitch the top, and we're gonna baste the sides around. And again, basting is usually just a stitch with a wider stitch length, or a longer stitch length, I should say. And we're doing that so that this becomes one piece instead of floppy 2 pieces. So we're doing that. I am gonna really quick, because the cotton is on top, I am gonna run the iron over this super fast. Not enough to hurt the waxed canvas, but enough to get that crease in there nicely on the cotton. So I'm also gonna clip around the sides a little bit. Right, oh, so I understand almost half of what you say, Mike. Oh my goodness. Mike doesn't understand. Alexa, stop. Yeah, she's reminding me to what is she reminding me? Allergy meds, yep. Which is why I sound like this. In case you weren't here earlier, I sound like this because allergies are for real. It's just really bad allergies. Okay, so again, I'm just lining up the edges and the bottoms. I'm gonna run a quick iron over this to get that crease nice, but not long enough to mess up the waxed canvas. We're gonna put a couple of clips in this one. Put one along the bottom too, just to be on the safe side. All right, so now I'm going to top stitch across the top and then all the way around the edges so that it can be a one piece instead of flopping around on us. So as soon as what's going on? What is going on? All right, there you go. So I'm gonna start on the side. Actually, I wanna do wax canvas up. Oh, she is not gonna like this. Maybe she'll be okay. I'm gonna do it wax canvas up because again, I'm top stitching along the top edge, and so I want that to be nice and pretty. And the top thread does better than the bottom, and that messed it up anyway. That's frustrating. All right, now I'm gonna go across the top, nice and pretty. And then I'll see if she'll behave around the edges. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to top stitch this. And then I'm going to do the basting around the edges on the other machine. And I will actually do that off camera because I'm literally, y'all have seen me baste before. It's literally just going to go around these three sides so that it's one piece. I think I'm going to do this top stitch and then call it a night because my voice is about shot. It is done. Oh noes. I didn't hold the thread and it just pulled all the way through the needle. So I've got to put it back in the needle. That is a sign right there that I need to stop. Nope, nope, nope. Stay there. But I'm not going to leave it top stitched. Only one of them top stitched. Come on. Come on, the whittle. Oh, don't make me get out my needle threader. Come on. There we go. Gotcha. And I'm going to push this down because it needs to go. The thread, I know you don't know what I'm talking about because you can't see me because of our camera issues. But I'm pushing the thread down through the presser foot. I'm using one of my hemostats to grab it. All right. One more. Back stitch on the sides to keep it out of the way. And here we go. So these are going to be our pockets. To give you an idea of what's going on here. Flip these around so they're the right way for you. These are going to be our pockets. This is going to be the top of the pocket. This is going to be the pocket, and we're actually going to take it and pleat it down at the bottom so that it sits out. It'll be like a total 3D pocket there to put a bottle in. So that's the plan. But we're not going to do it tonight because I'm starting to make stupid mistakes like walking behind my machine with this pointing out the back of it, and I just stabbed myself in the rear end. So yeah, it is time to stop for the night. Let me go back over here. check chats one more time. Oh yeah, allergies are so bad right now, Scoot. I hate allergies. And we've got. Oh yeah, I am tired. I am definitely tired. Mike says I'm fading. Yep, I am. So, I think the next time that I'm going to be able to sew is maybe Friday night, because I really want to get this done this weekend. Maybe I can get the sides done Friday night, and then then we're on the lining front panel. I can probably get the sides done and the lining front panel Friday night, maybe. And then Saturday is going to end up being like a total, oh, it's cutting my head off. It's not tall enough. Saturday is going to be a marathon. And you will get to see what I normally do on the weekends. Because I normally will get up and start sewing at I'm usually sewing by 8 or 9. And 10 if I've slept in. But, and I'll go all day. Mike will bring me food because I'll forget to eat and stuff like that, just because it's my happy place. So I love to sew. And so yeah, that is it. And we need we'll set up a private live stream, Mike, so that we can get the stuff right and I don't have to keep moving you around. We do have a boom arm coming tomorrow, so that should be fun. That should be easy. Good. I'm really glad that you came out too, Scoot. I appreciate the support. I really, really do. So thanks to everybody who came out during the live. If you didn't catch the live, I hope you can catch it on the replay. And I'll see you in a couple of days. Have a good night.